Hi everyone, today we are solving this important question from Hacker Earth, and the name of the question is Mancunian and Liverbird go bar hopping. So as we know that Mancunians are the Manchester United fans and Liverbird here of course Liverpool fans, and they are arch enemies. But in this question there's a little bit of a twist. So at this point I would like you to pause on the video and read out the question once out for yourself. Once you're through with the question, I'll discuss the question, the approach, the input format, and how to solve it. So I hope that you've read out the question, and now let's start discussing. So as I discussed that they are arch enemies, but on a particular day of the year, that is the April Fool's Day, they decide to go and have a drink together. And the question it is given that we have n bars and n minus 1 roads, right? So if this bar is connected to this bar via this road, it does not mean that this bar can be connected to it via this road. It's not necessary. So they also say that periodically they will reverse the roads. So if initially this bar was connected to this bar via this connection, then at some point they can reverse this connection like this. So in the question we'll be given this array. So how will that array be defined? Suppose we are given an array of zeros and ones. So if the value is 1 for a particular I, that means there's a road from ith bar to I plus 1th bar. And if it is 0, then the road is from I plus 1th bar to the ith bar, and not vice versa, because roads are unidirectional, right? Besides this, in the input, we'll be given the following things. So we'll be given a number q, which will denote number of queries. And along each query, we'll be given the following things. First of all, we'll be given a character s, which can have two values, either q or u. If it is a q, we'll be given a number x along with it, and we have to find the number of roads that the fan can reach from start if they start at the bar number x, right? And if we are given u, that means we have to update. What updation means? To reverse the roads. Okay, so that is what will be given in the question. Now moving on, this question is a bit tricky as it looks like a graph question, since we're talking about unidirectional connections, roads from I to I plus 1 and from I plus 1 to I, right? So it looks like a graph question, but exactly is not a typical graph, since for every node it can only have a connection to at max 2 nodes, right? If this node is 1, then it can only have connection with this node, while if this previous node 1, then this can have a connection like this, right? So this gives a sort of a hint to us that this might be a question only pertaining to arrays and not graphs, right? So let's discuss the approach to this. So what do I want to do? I want to find the number of bars a person can reach if they start from a particular bar x, right? So what I will do is that I'm going to store the number of bars what a person can reach if they move in this direction, the number of bars a person can reach if they move in this direction, and then sum these. So let's say this is L, this is R. So the number of bars total will be L plus R plus 1. Because if they start from this bar, we have to include this particular bar as well, right? So this will be our approach. How will we code it? Let's discuss that, and you'll understand it better while coding. We're going to have 4 auxiliary arrays. So these 2 arrays will be when there are no updations, and these will be when there are updations, right? So what the first array will store? The first array will store, if this is particular x, how many bars can we reach if we move in this direction. This will store how many bars we can reach if we move in this direction. This will store how many we can reach if in this direction after updation, and this will store how many we can reach in this direction after updation. So don't worry if this part isn't very clear to you right now, we'll understand it while writing the code as well. So let's start coding this problem. So I've written some basic boilerplate code here, right? I've taken the input for n and I have initialized the array, right? So A1, A3, A2 and A4. So as I discussed that these are the 4 auxiliary arrays, 4 auxiliaries. So let's start pre-processing them. So we'll need to pre-process them to store the number of bars we can reach with each array. So let's do this. So basically the idea is, starting from any particular bar, we'll assume that initially we can reach no bar from it. So X will store how many bars we can reach. And so let's take the first array. So A1 of n minus 1 is equal to 0. So from the last bar, right? So from the last bar, how many bars can I go further? If I move strictly in the right direction, as we saw here. So what is A1? A1 is this. So A1 is basically how many bars you can reach from a particular if you move in this direction. So if you're already at the last bar, there's no further way to go. So it will be initialized to 0. While when we talk about moving in this direction, the 0th bar will be initialized to 0 because there's no more bar over at this side. So what I'm going to do is, so for each entry of the array, I'm going to count how many consecutive ones are there. So let's say if this is this kind of an array, for example, and this the last bar, this is the last bar here. So from this bar, I can go ahead into one bar. From this bar, how many bars can I reach? I can reach this bar and then I can reach this bar, so 2. From this, how many bars can I reach? I can reach this bar, from this here, and from this here. So total 3. So basically, I have to store the number of consecutive ones. And if I encounter a 0 and there was a 1 here, so I can only reach this bar but no further. So whenever I encounter my 0, my streak breaks, right? And when we talk about this array, this will be exact opposite. What we are doing here for consecutive ones, there will be doing for consecutive zeros, right? So if this part isn't very clear, don't worry. We're just going to code it right now so that you understand it better. So let's code this part. So for int I is equal to n minus 2. So I is greater than equal to 0, minus I. So if my a of I is equal to 1, I'm going to increase my count of consecutive ones, which is x. So this particular number is 1. That means I can reach the next bar. I can reach the next bar. Okay. Else x equal to 0. If it was 0, that means from this bar, while moving in the right direction, I cannot reach any other bar. And finally, here it will be a of 1 of I should be equal to x. That from ith position, how many bars can I reach in total? Right. And here I will again do x of 0 equal to 0 and a2 of 0, I'll initialize to 0. This time I'll be moving in the forward direction. So for int I equal to 1, I less than n minus 1 plus I. Okay. Actually, this should be I less than n. Okay. And let's code this as well. So if a of I minus 1 is equal to 0, then I can increase my x. Else I'll keep it as 0. And again, a2 of I is equal to x. So why here I have done a of minus 1? Because see, so basically what does a 0 denote? Let's see here. So if a number is 0, that means there is a connection from I plus 1th bar to ith bar. So if I can reach from I plus 1th to ith bar, that means my ith a of I should be 0. So that's why I'm taking a of I minus 1, which also means that the final number I want to have, because there are n minus 1 entries, I want to iterate it until n. So that explains why I took n here. Alright. And on the similar lines, I'm going to do it again, x equal to 0. And I'm just going to copy paste this entire thing here and make some minor changes. Okay. So this time, first of all, where do I have to start? I have to start with a of 3, n minus 1, it will be 0. And this loop will remain the same. This time, what I'll do here, I'll make small change here. If a of I equal to 0, I'll increase x, else this, and this will be a3. Why am I doing this? So what is a3? A3 is after the update. So previously, if you could reach, so previously 0 meant that you could reach from I plus 1 to I. This time it means you can reach from I to I plus 1. So a3 is basically moving towards right after the update. Similarly here, this time I'll make a4 of 0 as 0. If a of I minus 1 equal to 1, I'll increase my x, because this time I will denote connection from I plus 1 to I due to updation. Okay, else x equal to 0, and here it will be a4. So that is it. That is all of my pre-processes that I need. Now let's go back here. So first I need an integer q, the number of queries, right? And I'll input this number, and while q minus minus. So I'll also just zoom it in a bit, because this is the important part now. So what am I going to get in q? In q, first I will get a character s. I'll see in s. So if s is equal to u, oh, I forgot one thing, that I have to keep a check on how many updates have we made. So if we have made an even number of updates, that is equivalent to no updates at all. So why is that? See, so after first update, if this original connection gets converted to this, then that means after the second update, this connection will now be reversed and it returns as the original connection. So even connections mean that there is no change. That means I have to use the original values, while the odd number of connections means I have to use the alternate values. So if s equal to u, I'll increase my updates plus plus. Okay, else that if s was not u, that means it was q. First of all, I will get an x, int x, I'll see in x. If updates modulus with 2, so if modulus with 2 equal to 0, that means I have to use the original arrays. So what I will do here, I will print C out of a1 of x minus 1 plus a2 of x minus 1 plus 1 and end L. So why I've added 1? Because a1 denotes how many bars can I reach on the right hand side, a2 denotes how many bars can I reach on the left hand side, and 1 is for the bar itself. So why I'm doing x minus 1? Because the index in the question is 1 based, while the indexing in my solution is 0 based. Right? Else, I'll just copy this and make changes in this itself. Right? And here it will be a3 this time, and this will be a4 this time. So same logic as above, and then in the end I'll return 0. So that is the entire code. You can look at this part again, what I've done here, how have I modified how have I pre-processed my arrays, and let's try and submitting it now. So yes, as you can see that this gets accepted. So I hope that you've liked today's solution, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of effort and a lot of hard work to make, and I hope that I could do something good to you and make you learn something. So your love and your support keeps me going to make better videos and more content. And please comment about your feedback, what are the questions you want me to solve, things like those. And thank you. Keep coding, keep learning.